And we're on to the Rift once again. We're going to have Malaysia taking on Philippines in this one. Now, we'll see how this one goes because last time we saw both these two teams, or rather, when last time I saw both of these two teams, they were madmen. All of them. All 10 of them across the Rift, whereas they were just going at each other over and over and over and over again. And I think as the world meta has evolved over the last couple of weeks, it's only going to get worse.
It's hilarious, too. For the people who've already seen these teams, the expectation is already set. For the people who haven't, I apologize for what you're about to see. Or maybe you like this kind of thing. Maybe it's down your road, so who knows? I appreciate you nonetheless.
I mean, let's be honest, as all of these players would go through the application process and through the interview process to get into the LPL. It's just like, are you crazy enough to tower dive at level 2? Okay, you're in. And Malaysia and Philippines, they've got that on lockdown. So we're going to have lines of scrimmages right here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Though we did see invades actually from both of these two teams going into the enemy jungle at level 1, looking for some blood. But this time around, just going to be a little bit more chill.
Yeah, it's a bit of a group. I wonder if they would like to go for a late invade. Just looking at the compositions a little bit, if they allow it. Rakan is a pretty good invade. Misfortune has a pretty strong level 1 due to her passive, so the ward being caught out here is pretty necessary. Wonder if that's going to stop. No, they're still going. Wait a second.
Yeah, a bit of a late invade here. Red was just spawning, but I think this has been definitely read by Malaysia given that they just saw them. So they're going to be on top of this ward, but Philippines still going to go for this.
They're coming.
Walking out of the bush. Here comes the engage. Triple knockup coming in. Dodoy gets in there, gets out, but I don't believe he got the red buff on that one. Here comes Caspiel, the flash forwards, and TG, he's absolutely in the dumpster. He goes down. Dodoy takes another Dustbringer to the back of the head. And he's being chased by Caspiel right now, but I doubt he can catch up. Oh, Hammers, flash over the wall. They still had one more. Oh my god, the tornado! Zeto, you absolute madman. That's going to be 2 kills on the board.
All right. Hammers, first of all, that's probably not the location you want to be heading in. You could go straight and your Misfortune passive would do the rest of the work. But they walked through 2 wards and they saw one of them. They cleared one of those wards. They were just calling out Malaysia and saying that they didn't have the ability to counteract their invade. I'm sorry. As you could tell, Zeno says hell no.
Raz, you know, I'm a micro man, you know, I like the details, and I just got to talk about that tornado from Zeno. Holy moly, was that incredible. The lead coming out there, completely blocking off the escape path. Good stuff coming out of Malaysia. Perfect punish off that level 1 invade. Dodoy, however, is going to react, go to the top side of the map, look for a blue takeaway, but Caspiel actually gunning it towards the area.
I think he should be just fine. Remember, he has Smite available for him, and Singe did a great job in pushing the lane. So the only thing I'm worried about is the exit strategy. Get out of here.
Tagged by the Dustbringer once more. Has to choose to go through the pit. Has hookshot. Should be fine.
Oh, no. There we go.
Yeah, scary for a second there since he was silenced, Raz. I know what you're talking about, but now he's going to be okay on this one. And we'll get back to his jungle. But now I expect Caspiel actually to look for the contest on this red buff. TG getting another nice knockup onto Veki in the bot lane. That's 2 tower shots. Hamas going forwards. 2 versus 2 kill. Zeno has a crack at him as well.
All right. So, I mean, for all you people out there, we did tell you this stuff was going to happen, 100%. Veki didn't have to go for a skirmish when he was far ahead enough to go back to base and get a pickaxe, but he did it anyways. So this is just a weird situation for the Malaysian bottom lane where the 1 kill and 1 assist that Veki had, you should always convert that to an item. So trying to skirmish under tower, not necessary. Use the push, head back to base, but now you've given an extra kill to James.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing about League of Legends, Raz, and that's if you pick up offensive items, it doesn't make you any more defensive. So, hey, you may have even died there anyway. Dodoy dancing with death with the red buff, but will come out victorious. It's his first victory of the game. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Shiro taking on Kaigu. First time we're actually looking at the top lane. I mean, Singe going into Ornn right here. And Ornn should be having an okay matchup against Singe. Generally can sustain the fact that he can just build his own items. But Kaigu, he's actually the one being pushed back right now. Out of corrupting potions will have to come back soon.
Yeah, ultimately I just like the Philippines lane matchups. Aurelia is pretty nice in towards the Malzahar just because it has the sustained damage. The only thing I worry about is that he needs to be aware of post 6 Malzahar is going to be excellent to set up for ganks, set up for real skirmishes, and Aurelia is going to have problems once she pushes up the lane. And also the same could be said for Singed if he ever tries to dirty farm behind Ornn. That's always a worry.
Here's Hamez. He's just being chased down right now. Here comes a tornado, and Becky with the last auto attack. We were just watching him just casually just walk down in the bottom lane, just go for a stroll as someone's just clocking him across the back. It's like, yeah, all right.
It's one of those situations where how many flashes getting expended really early on in the game?
All of them.
Every single one of them in the bottom lane. It really forces these teams just to respect each other, especially the Kai'Sa damage. So, yep, Hamez ain't happy about that one.
Now you say that, Raz. You say they need to respect each other. I didn't see a whole lot of respect happening in that bottom lane, given that Hamez was literally, his entire body was in the enemy lines. There was no man's land. He was just right in there and had to walk away from Veki and Zeno.
That's not how that works, the Doi. But yeah, the Doi should be in the bottom side of the map if they were looking for that. Remember, the best thing about this bottom side of the map, or at least the composition, is that Rakan, Misfortune, good enough pressure, and enough setup. Speaking of setup,
on ultimate comes in. Kai'Gu is absolutely a dead man. Just a matter of signing the paperwork on this one. Caspiel even chimes in for the assist as well.
So there we go. Gank setup. It should have been there for Philippines in the bottom side of the map, but Dodoy wasn't there, and because Dodoy showed himself mid lane, Caspiel was like, all right, I'm going top side for Shiro. So now it seems like Kai'Gu's going to have a tough time in the top lane just based off the fact that now Caspiel is on the map before 6 and having greater gank potential.
So right now, if we just take stock of the craziness that's happened over the first 6 minutes of the game, almost 11,000 gold to just over 9,000 gold. So a 2,000 gold advantage. At most stages in the game, you'd be like, hey, it's negligible, but we're at 6 minutes, Raz, so that feels pretty intense.
Yeah, in the lane matchups, the Philippines decide, like, they should be the ones with the lead just because of how mid and top lane should be faring in the lane matchups. But now you're level 6 as Malzahar. Caspiel is going to be incredibly close once he clears out blue side. This is when Malaysian's team composition comes online. It's super easy to look for mid lane ganks onto Aurelia because of the Malzahar setup. Same thing goes top side. He wasn't even needed in terms of his ulti pressure because Shiro already made it easier last time. So Caspiel should just be top side. It should be Philippines who could be quaking in the boots.
Well, you have to think that would be the case, though. I'm looking towards a certain member of this team on the Philippines.
Right,
Raz, and who do you think that's going to be? Of course, it's going to be Dodoy in the jungle, because last time we saw him, or last time I saw him, the guy was absolutely insane. He went off on that Graves pick, completely destroyed some nerds on the Rift. So I actually want to see Dodoy do something similar, because he's got himself the Camille pick, extremely strong on this current patch. So if there's anyone who can make this turn around, it would be him. Flash forward, and the Darkness coming in as well from Caspiel. These are some very thirsty Malaysian teams right now. Oh, okay.
All right, thirsty, but the fingers aren't really working there. Where was the ulti set up? Probably didn't expect EXO to flash at the same time, but you have to have it set up. So, yeah, Caspiel might be a little bit upset. He didn't have much mana other than his ulti to follow up, but it just didn't happen.
Oh, hello. The flash away there, the Vanguard's edge as well, right into suppression. That's where it is, folks. And now EXO still with the stun down on 2, but it's not enough to save his own life. The rest of the Philippines, though, actually aggressing forward, posturing aggressively because they know that Kai'Gu coming in from the top side. However, Malaysia will back away from this one, and they should be scattering to the wind.
Yeah, Kai'Gu and Dodoy are their only real engage points with the pick potential, but Jana's doing a great job in covering their bases. So it's just going to be that one pick for Malaysia and no follow-up coming out of Dodoy.
All right, Caspiel going to take the opportunity to take away his Krugs while this is happening. The fact that Kai'Gu is still in Malaysia's jungle, now he's going to be contesting the Krugs. What is this guy doing? Get back to your lane, man.
He's challenging Shiro. He's like, wait a minute, you ain't pushing that towards my tower? Now you are? Okay, I'm coming. Now I'm coming. But until you actually show up in the lane, I don't have to leave here.
Imagine that. Imagine teleporting from contesting Krug's bot side to teleporting back into your own lane on minion wave. Kai'Gu does not care for the meta.
That is efficiency, my friends. That's what you're supposed to do. If you're playing Singe, you're supposed to be the annoying poison man around the map. If you're not annoying anybody, are you really doing your job?
That's true. But that was just the most alpha move I think I've ever seen a Singe do. Because, you know, proxy farming behind the wave. What do you call it earlier, Raz?
Dirty farming. Yeah.
Dirty farming. I actually like that a lot more because proxy farming is technically incorrect as a phrase. That's not what proxy means. That was a nice steal.
I just like the fact that dirty farming, it makes the man look like a scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we have it.
Yeah, and to be honest, he is. So I'm going to call it dirty farming from now on. But Kai'Gu definitely alpha in the top lane. Caspiel going to be contesting this red buff here with Dodoy. And Arhage coming in from the mid lane as well. Dodoy is very much aware of this happening, though, because EXO is here to defend him as well.
3 seconds until Malzahar ulti is up, so it's going to be up right now.
Push forward's going to come down to the smite, but it's actually the disengage out from the Filipino squad. So Malaysia will just get away with the highway chase.
Really good timing from Malaysia. You could tell the communication from our edge was strong enough for them to recognize they could skirmish, they could fight, because his ulti was coming up soon enough. They didn't need Caspiel's. Now that it is up, I'm worried for EXO because that should be a prime target.
You think so? There's the jump in the bottom lane now and the disengage out from the Monsoon. TG looping back, finds the charm once more. In comes Dodoy, locking down the Janna. He's packed in place, and that's definitely overkill, but I like it. Get in there, Hammers. The knock-up, the airborne, the kill over to Veki. It's a 1-for-1.
There we go. Veki was just interested in one thing, as that was the response kill. So he gets the 3rd kill for himself, and great TPing from Shiro just to make it all worthwhile. I'm literally calling him every pronunciation under the book.
It's all right, Raz. I got your back. You didn't need to draw attention to it. But what I also liked in the bottom lane was the fact that we're getting bullet time combos once again. I feel like I'm back in Season 2. Remember, that was 6 years ago. It's crazy when you say it like that. 6 years ago, now that we're in the 2018 season. But we're going to see Caspiel actually getting contested once again by Kaigu in the top side of the map. And yeah, Beekeeper Singe is just kind of giving it to him, but here comes Zeno with the turnaround. Arhage into the mid lane, but Kaigu still gets the kill on Caspiel. Are you kidding me? Get birded, sit down.
Yeah, you know what? Caspiel didn't expect that one, and I don't know why he didn't expect it. Of course, that was going to be enough damage, but honestly, Zeno doing a good job. That's all I can say right now is the fact that Zeno going top side of the map to help out Caspiel was a very good timing to be able to stop Singe from creating that nonsense. So I'll give him props for all that shenanigans there. Wait, you kidding?
So I'm just gonna...
Are you kidding me right now? I'm rescinding it. You get nothing.
Yeah, hopefully you got a receipt on that compliment, Raz, because you're gonna have to be returning that one.
Talking to customer service right now.
All right, here's TG. Gonna get hit up by that Caspian Rain. Finds the quickness, the knock-up. Arhage blocking off one route, but you're stuck in the middle of me here. And actually, Hermes is here in the bottom lane, ready to react.
Let me tell you the secret of this game.
All right, what's that, Raz?
The first team to be a team wins. If you get caught out once, it's okay because it's apparently the expectation is that you'll be able to get an equal catch-out on the opposite side.
Okay.
Why was TG there alone? Only God knows. So I'm just saying right now, one of these teams, I understand that Zeno was doing a good enough job at backing up Caspiel in the earlier fight, the level 1, all of that, but take the safer route. You knew that the Dragon was being done at the time, so that's all I'm really asking for both of these teams.
Yeah, Zeno's a little bit crazy, though he is generally in the right place at the right time. I would say that for certain, so you're right, he'll make the cross-map plays, but when it comes into the moment, he's just like, could save about 2.5 seconds taking the dangerous route, I'm in.
You know, I can feel that on a personal level. I will say, though, talking about the lane matchups just a little bit, because you were talking about Misfortune earlier on.
Yep.
The reason why we haven't... Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. It's in the mid lane. Get nearsighted, get fleeing, get silenced, and get dead.
And I ain't going to talk about this one just because we already made a mention that that person was on the hit list because of the matchup. Wait a minute. I think I have to talk about it now because this should be a tower and a half. Depends on if they push this on. I don't know why Nocturne is leaving the lane. He should stay mid so he could push the wave. Just putting that out there.
All right, here comes the Ornhorn once more. Call of the Forge God completely stopped because he's being grounded. Kaigu with the hard counter. I'll see you later, kid.
He must have Transcendence because that, my friend, is Galaxy Brain. That guy is so smart. Putting...
I don't think I've actually seen that interaction before, because I know when Singe first came into the meta again, it was like watching him into the Camille picks, and then she'd just be like a sad Spider-Man on the wall, and it's just like, I guess I can't do anything. But I've never seen it played into Ornn like that. That is fantastic.
That's the trick whenever it comes towards Singe coming back into the meta. You start to realize slowly what he can do.
There is no time to analyze because there's a bullet storm coming down in the bottom lane. Zeno and Veki trying to get out of this one. Nice double tornado, but the slowdown onto Veki is big. Our hedge coming down, and it was all obeyed all along. Hamaz with the dodge out of the queue, but he's trading off. Oh my god, that bullet almost tagged both of them. It did not bounce, and he will die.
And sad Dodoy doesn't have flash, so he can't clean up Veki or Zeno. Overall, it was just a skirmish being brought upon Veki and Zeno, and they're like, we're actually just fine. We have our edge here. So Not sure why you're doing that. You don't have the protection of Dodoy. He was coming in, but a little bit too late because it was essentially James and TG saying, we're doing this anyways.
I wish we had the old instant replay coming on that one, because James, if he had auto-attacked the Malzahar right there, reset his passive with the love tap, then come in with the double tap, that would have actually killed both Veki and Zeno in one Q. So I know James is going to be kicking himself right there, because all Misfortune players are all playing for that one moment in which you get the crispy double.
What's upsetting is the last second in which he died, he used his Q on towards Veki when he was getting in the solo duel with him. Issue is that Zeno was close by, was just not in range. So even though he was literally just behind him, not close enough. So not going to be getting any of those kills. Unfortunate
in the end. Zeno, he's going to take the opportunity to be aggressive. Push forwards, not clear out that ward. That's just how much of an alpha this guy is. It's just like, I see your ward, I've used my sweeper on it, I don't need to clear it.
And Arj is just sticking in the lane, knowing that EXO is going to have to clear this one out fully. This tower hasn't been touched all too much either, so we're really going top side while there are 3 members on the map going towards this tower. Well, that's a free one.
Yeah, goodbye tower. Malaysia seem to have this game on lockdown. Here comes the Doid though. Misses the flash hook shot, but lands the ultimatum. Can't miss that one. Tossed over the wall. Once again, does not connect the own ultimate. And you've got an Aurelia coming in from the mid lane. The Doid chimes in with the kill.
You know what? I'm still going to respect the alley-oop Ornhorn just to basically come back on the other side. But either way, you know, Shiro getting 3 members on him. I think he just... In those situations, you know that Malaysian's bottom lane is, or his bottom side is fully committed towards the tower push, and they're still going for it. Shiro should just play it safe. But speaking of playing it safe, no one wants to do that.
We're near decisive, we're dodging, it's all good. Mid lane going to be pushed in once more by the Malaysian team. 4 towers to 1. We are, reminder, 17 minutes into this game. There is an Infernal Dragon over to the Filipinos, but this is not going well at all for them.
Yeah, not much you can respond with the Philippines. Philippines went top side when Malaysia went bottom side, meaning 4 towers, as you mentioned. And the fact that Malaysia was just on the opposite side, just couldn't really get anything for them. I mean, Philippines couldn't get anything for themselves too early on in the game to even look towards the neutral objective. So they're going to be kicking themselves. The fact that, yeah, sure, you got a kill, but you put yourself in that position to begin with.
Hamas now rotating to the mid lane, just picking up more farm for himself. He's on the Ghost Blade right now for this Misfortune. On the opposite side, however, Veki sitting pretty on a Gwinsu's Rage Blade, heading into that Stinger, and of course the Nash's Tooth as well. So he's well on his way to getting his AP build underway, and we are still just sub 20 minutes, so he's doing very well for himself. Vanguard's Edge. I'll see you later, Zeno. No getting away from that. Defiant Dance and Veki's down will be nullified. Bot lane now being pushed in, and the Philippines might be striking back here. Though this is a TP out from the Ornn in top lane. He does have the Call of the Forge God. Meanwhile, Philippines looking to take this dragon. It is yet another Infernal. Here comes RH from the mid lane as well with the backup. Philippines on the other side of the wall. Caspiel looking for the steal. In with the Ornhorn. Jump over the wall. Secured by Dodoy. Nice double stun coming in once again. Flawless duet. Followed up by the Bullet Storm. Airborne in the pit. Veki goes down. Shiro following after. Suppress and runs away. Kaigu with a chase down. Shiro, there is no escape. RH, can he get out though? Flawless duet once again. Shiro tries to do what he can. Triple kill. Flip out from Kaigu. 4 kills out from the Philippines.
You just don't know what Malaysia was thinking at that moment. You could just see Caspiel didn't have his ultimate, so he wanted to steal the dragon, but he knew that if he tried to do that, he would have died. So then why are the rest of the members looking to team fight when Caspiel's trying to risk his life for the dragon? So that essentially turns into a 3v4, 3v5 at best. So just really poor communication, or at least planning on the Malaysian side.
And I'm sorry, who was winning this game 90 seconds ago, right?
I don't even know anymore.
I guess it was the Philippines, because right now they're catching up in gold, 2,000 gold down, but double Infernals pushing the bot lane. They've taken 1 turret, looking for their second. Defense coming in from Malaysia, but at this point, I'd just say, hey, just cut our losses. Like, if we're chasing down this low health squad, again, we might get just killed and drop further and further behind. So Philippines running away, feeling very happy about that play. Dodoy now sat on 5 kills.
I wonder why Malaysia decided to reset and go back bottom side. They should clear the wave, sure, but remember that Baron is coming up in 35 seconds. So if you're trying to get anything off of the base timing that Philippines have, you might want to use that to clear vision around Baron and get something for yourself. So that's just kind of, once again, an example of poor communication, because they probably thought they were going to chase him down, as you were talking about. But if that was just not going to happen. So, once again, Malaysia are just slower on the map. So the time they finally get towards Baron to clear it, Philippines are already there to meet them.
And if I'm to make an educated guess at the mindset of Malaysia right there, Caspiel saying, we can go in, I've got my ultimate, it's off cooldown, we can chase. The rest of the team is like, well, I don't have ultimate. Shearer's is like, I don't have mine, we can't make this happen. And at the same time, it was an afterthought. We saw the pings come down from Malaysia after they went to the bot lane around top side, and they were like, you're right, let's change position. Then you see Caspiel beeline it towards the top side, and they'll place down that vision. So you're right, Raz, but Malaysia knew it too.
Yep, trickling of information is what it comes down to. So that kind of timing, remember the game of League of Legends, even though you have around 30 minutes of the game time, being able to take a win really comes down to the split-second decisions. Especially when you're talking about your ulti timing, which your composition is based around. RH and Caspiel has done that well in the beginning of the game, but now are falling down to it because that's also including Becky, Xeno, Shiro. It's including the entire team. So the team fight planning is going to have to get better.
Oh, how's it going? Nice block on that one. Turn this one around, fleeing nearsighted, and Caspiel finds another kill onto Exo split on the side lane. That's a nice pick right there. TG and Dodoy coming in with the knockup. Once again, the hook shot. Ornhorn coming through. Can he find the knockup? Yes, he can, stopping the bullet storm. But Arhedge is already dead from this one. Cross map, it's 1-for-1. Shiro face plants the wall. Here comes the hook shot following through. Dodoy looking for the lockdown on this one. Doesn't have the ultimatum, but Shiro thinking about the turnaround. Meanwhile, Kaigu, he found himself a target. It's Caspiel on the river. There is no escape. Here's your darkness right here, buddy. Takes him down.
2 people responded, and this is just because Malaysia tried to do an early invade before Caspiel and RH were even there. So once again, Philippines gets an advantage because one of their members get picked off. So you gotta, once again, man, you're a team. All right, you all together. What the heck is happening?
I think you'll find this is a 1v1v1v1v1v1. So, no. Everyone just wants a piece of the pie, Raz. Get the 1v1 kills, get the 2v2s, get the skirmishes going.
This time around, I'm gonna now that we have the time, I'm gonna talk about what Philippines can do with their composition. The reason for it is because we just saw in the last fight taking advantage of what Malaysia was trying to do. So. Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen the Misfortune in quite some time. Reason for it is just that she's tough to utilize in terms of her damage. She's great if people are running towards her. Awful when it comes towards forcing your ultimate on toward, damage on towards others. Which is why I love the idea of the Rakan and Camille setup. So just having both of them means that at least one person is going to feel the damage, and someone is going to die if it's set up properly. So I like how it's being utilized this game. It's sad in which the condition in which it's being played obviously taking advantage of people walking at her one by one. But this is why Malaysia should fear the composition that Philippines have.
I mean, you're right, it's double the fallacy as well. This is the OG build, remember, so this one's still going to hit like a truck. And we talked about it in the bottom lane, you know, the combos coming through. I know you're talking about TG, but the Doy's coming in there as well.
That's true.
Even Exo with the Vanguard's Edge, it's all going to be contributing. And I think we actually need to come up with some new names, because remember in Season 2, there was the... Oh, I guess I'm not going to get a chance to talk, because Sinch is just getting caught on the bot side on this one. Caspiel locks him down, so that's going to be a nice kill over to Malaysia. And that's the pick potential coming through.
Yeah, Caspiel was just trying to shut you up. Oh, you know what? I guess he's trying to shut you up.
Oh, there's the bullet time once again, but the nice knock-up onto TG stops this one in his tracks. Shiro, oh, the bounce back! Zeno's on point for the triple knock-up, and it's all chaos in the team fight. Shiro locked down, and the Philippines are still pushing forward.
Yeah, just a follow-up from Rakan, and it's not going to stop here.
Hook shot, flash, misses that one. Caspiel and Arhedge on the retreat. Exo looking for this once more, finds the reset on the Q, and that's a triple for James. Oh, make that a quadra kill! Walks in there, Dodoy, the ultimate wingman.
You know what? I was caught off guard too. I knew what Xeno was thinking. I couldn't stop these fights from coming through. But Philippines recognized that they only really have one disengage force if you're not counting in Shiro. So wait, are you kidding me, Dodoy? All right, whatever. I'm just going to talk about my point, which is Xeno stopped the first wave of engage. The second wave came in through from TG. All too easy.
Yeah, as we can see, Ornn is dead in that mid lane, and Malaysia are actually making their way towards the Baron pit, because turns out the Baron's a bit of a raid boss. The channel comes through from that Ornn, dead not just too many seconds ago, and he's like, hang on, I could have sworn that the Philippines were taking this a second ago.
You know what they should do?
Rush it.
Yes. No matter what happened, you now know that the Philippines went back. Kaigu zooming it over to this wave.
Yeah, in the words of Heisenberg, you're goddamn right. I feel like the play should have just been a beeline towards the Baron, take the Baron. You knew that Kaigu was taking the long route back, but the rest of the team was recalling. So Would have liked to see a more ballsy play coming out there from Malaysia, but it's fine. They still managed to find their picks, and that is where the composition has been shining so far. And it seems like, for the most part, some members of the Philippines have been happy to oblige.
Yeah, and remember, it's a round robin best-of-1 series, so if Malaysia lose it just based off of one Baron play, they're not going to get a second chance. So they're definitely playing it safe. Maybe they can get a pick-off here.
Going to give you the Ram knock-up right into the Arkefian. Surprise right there from Veki, popping out of nowhere. Surprise! Suppressed. See you, Dodoy.
Yeah, they thought, you know, they were going to look for Aurelia. Dodoy is coming in on a flank, so he puts himself in a really poor position. So there we go. I mean, Aurelia was safe, but Dodoy didn't have information on that with the darkness.
Kaigu coming towards him at light speed, however, the bullet time comes through. Double knock-up, Shiro, Vanguard's edge. Throw every R button at them. Let's see what happens. Double stun, double kill, over to Exo.
Yeah, but they can't follow through because Arj and Veki are doing way too much damage. So, great kill, ultimately. Xeno and Caspiel are down. So, Philippines can technically look for Baron once Dodoy comes back up, but, this is definitely a tricky situation. The back line from Malaysia are way too strong.
Absolutely is. Ooh, I saw that tag. Veki, no killer instinct, though, so he won't be catching up anytime soon. And every time I think we have a respite, Veki's looking for a kill. Of course he is.
Oh my
God. Killer instinct still not off cooldown. It's about 5 seconds off. Veki was feeling it, but didn't want to burn the flash aggressively right there. Red buff getting started off by Hermes. Oh, and stolen out from Veki.
Beautiful. Excellent. Ward just sitting there, so obviously he knows the HP there. And remember, he's an AP Kaisa too, so the W damage is going to be doing a lot. So great to catch it out.
Really good stuff from Veki in the end right there. And while we've got probably 10 seconds of peacetime, Braz, I want to come up with some names for the bullet time plus whatever we have going on here.
All right, what is it? You want me to come up with a big
we've got Vanguard's Edge and bullet time.
Okay.
What do we do with that? Bullet Edge? Vanguard
sounds
time?
Good. That sounds edgy to me.
Bullet Edge? Okay. One lockdown. Dodoy's ultimate, coming with the Hextech Ultimatum. You can't do Hextech bullet time, so I'm thinking...
Why not? That sounds good too.
The Bullet Ultimatum.
Oh my god.
There we go.
It.
We've got 2. And then finally, Rakan in the bottom lane. Because you've got the Battle Dance, but you've also got the Quickness and Bullet Time.
Well, that's too many names. You can't have 3 together.
Well, I'm just giving you material, Raz.
I'm awful at this.
Bullet Dance.
We'll take it.
All right, 3 out of 3.
I'm not the one who's going to be
Good contribution there, Raz.
I expect to be paid for this.
All right, 10% of the earnings to you.
Excellent.
Okay, make sure to make use of them in the next couple of team fights. And for now, we do actually have a bit of a respite from both teams. So what are they setting up for?
All right, so definitely Baron, but it's gotten so tricky. Shiro can disregard one of these waves, bottom lane waves, so he can look to tank Baron. That'd be great. Just because Malaysia can speed it up pretty quickly, they have the Malzahar and Kaisa. Great combination being able to achieve that with the tank that they have for themselves as well. So if they're on top of it, they're in perfect position to bait it. That's great. Issue is, Philippines are really good in terms of engaging, creating flank opportunities, so that's why they're scared. So I really don't know who's going to be able to take it. It feels like one mistake can cost any team.
Absolutely right. We saw a small start on the Baron there coming out from Malaysia, but quickly jumped away from. Kaigu's in that bot side, as you mentioned, pushing that wave in, constantly being a threat down there. Plus, he has the banner coming up in about a wave's time.
Yeah, and you know what? I like what Malaysia's doing here, recognizing that Singe is in the bottom lane, so get vision control in red side jungle. Maybe with that being done, you can have Arej or Shiro being in position for a flank, so when they do start up on the Baron, they're ready for the fight. That's an advanced play for a lot of teams globally. I wonder if they're going to go for that. They don't know where...
oh, he's cut the vision.
Wow.
Caspiel knows where he is, but can he get there in time? He's going right towards him. Vanguard's Edge comes through, but he instant teleports as well to turn this into a 2v2. Zeno, suppress, Exo, he's got no way out. Now Kaigu, he's in there as well with the rest of his team.
All right, there we go. Exo's
Chasing
down.
after, flip over the wall. Hookshot comes in as well. The knock-up,
Oh my
the bullet
God.
dance out from Hermes is absolutely huge. Double kill coming through, and that's everybody running for the hills. Another kill over to Dodoy. Double for him, and 4 kills to the Philippines.
Absolutely ridiculous, and that was all based off the combination that we see from the composition from Philippines. So looked good initially from Malaysia, but that's how the cookie crumbles. There's just a lot of stuff happening on the screen. Couldn't call him anything. Couldn't even use the names that you were requiring.
I know. It's not even possible. Too much happening, Raz. It's going to be a knock up there from Shiro. 1 versus 3. For some reason, I have the feeling this is going to go well for him. Dodoy knocked against the wall. The knock up goes into the hourglass. Red team's going to be picking up that one. Dodoy gets the finish off right there. And Kaigu, he'll pay for that one with his life. He says, my life for the Philippines, and they'll get themselves the Baron.
Could have been a little bit better if he set up a pillar so he could get a 3-man knockup, but I think he was trying to steal it or splitting damage ultimately because if he just focused on the 3 people instead of the Baron itself, he would have gotten at least 2 kills, I'm telling you. That would have been real rough for the enemy team. So Shiro, a little bit too hypey in that case.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could see what he was going for, and that was both. He wasn't just like, I'll kill them first, then I'll take the Baron, or take the Baron and then kill them. It's just like, I will drop the Doy low enough where he's out of the fight, and then I'll try and steal Baron.
Ooh.
So I can understand what he was looking for, but you're absolutely right. A little too hypey.
Yeah, if he had the passive auto attacks to follow up on the Baron, that would have been great. I think he used it on the champion.
He did.
So don't think his dinky little auto attack afterwards is going to do the damage. Probably wasn't thinking that one through.
Yeah, unfortunately not. No brittle on that. TG is going to jump over the wall here, and it's, are you kidding me? That's a 3rd Infernal Dragon? Okay. 30 minutes into this game, and that's going to be absolutely a game. And you could say that, Raz, the Philippines, going to be taking this one again. Triple Infernals in this game. Next one is going to be the Elder as well. So if this can be secured, almost certainly it will be a Philippines win. Top lane, Singe getting caught out by Caspiel once more. He's going to be fleeing for a second as Veki trying to chase him down. Gets a single target damage. Follow through. Oh, he is so dead. Veki does so much damage single target.
See, now, I like the fact that Malaysia are still getting these individual kills, but losing a 3rd dragon as is, never worth it. I think they just conceded the fact that they're not going to be getting any dragons anytime soon. That they can't stand up to the Philippines team fighting, which is a fair point. At this point, they need to look towards pushing waves a little bit more often and buy some time for themselves. Because sure, you got a kill, but the top lane wave is still not at the tower. That just means that it's easier for Philippines to get back on the map and start to focus on mid lane tower and bottom lane tower. So they don't really have that much time afforded here.
Yeah, it's difficult for Malaysia, conceding, reseeding, and much like a receding hairline, there's not much they can do about it. So what they can do, however, is push into the mid lane, but there's a potential for the flank here. That's the problem here, Raz. Philippines get him from the bottom side, follow through, doesn't find his taunt just yet, and here comes the channel out from our head. Oh, triple knockup is big. Shiro keeping him in the air, and Exo, but he's in though. The rest of his team escapes, and he says, take me instead. Meanwhile, TG finding that kill. Arhead has to back away from this one. Hermes follows through. Auto attack gets him. And here comes Kaigu from the top side.
No way.
Meanwhile, Dodoy in the base, slaying this one. 2 members left, and one of them's about to be dead. Veki, where did he go? That's a magic trick, and the channel comes back for the recall. But Caspiel, I don't think there's a whole lot he can do when his Angry Camille on his Nexus. He can pop his ultimate though, and he'll give it the red hot crack. Here comes the 1v1. Oh no, there's all my health. 321 gold to Dodoy, and this will be this game going over to the Philippines. Well played, and in a comeback win.
And you know what? He's not even going to take the Nexus until the whole family comes in for the proper family photo. So excellent finish to the game coming in from the Philippines.